Welcome back, Helldivers. I only just put out a video about hidden changes that were not listed in the patch notes from the last big patch. And as part of that conversation, people suspected that something had changed with the spawn rates, patrols like spawning out of thin air, and just like general enemy aggression. And I also highlighted that a community manager said, hey, we hear the feedback, we are working on it. They didn't confirm whether that was like a hidden change that they made, but they said, we hear feedback that like everyone's getting swamped and not enjoying it, and we're working on a fix. Little did I know, hours later, it was going to be patched. So I have some patch notes to read for you. Sit back, relax, and let me feed you some democracy. Good day, citizens of Super Earth. A new patch to aid you in your efforts is coming in. May Super Earth give you courage. Overview. Today's patch is dealing with the spawn rate of heavily armored Terminated enemies as well as the possible play against them. It also contains some fixes to UI elements and crash fixes. Balancing enemies. The amount of heavily armored targets that spawn on higher difficulties, especially for Terminids, have been a big discussion point online and internally. The intent is for groups to have to bring some form of anti-tank capability, but not to the degree previously needed. To that end, we have reduced the spawn rate of Chargers and Bile Titans on difficulty 7 and up. In addition, we have reduced the risk of spawn spikes of Chargers and Bile Titans. Please note that we have changed the distribution of enemy types, not reduced difficulty. Expect other enemy types to appear in greater numbers instead. I'm telling you, I think the most dangerous enemy in Helldivers is the Hunters. The little dudes that jump on you from like across the map. They're my worst enemy. Anyway, we are humbled by the community's ability to find things like charges, a leg meta in our game. However, spending your heavy anti-tank weapons on legs instead of the obvious weak point seems counter to expectation. We are not changing anything regarding the charges of legs. We are, however, lowering the health of the charger's head. It should now be at the point where a well-placed shot from a recoilless rifle or EAT-17 instantly kills a charger. Long live the EAT. Man, I just keep banging on about how good it is. I think it's even better now. Very nice. Together with the unfortunate, undocumented change of last patch that increased the armor penetration ability of less well-placed shots of EAT-17s, we covered this in the last video, and the recoilless rifle shots, charges should now be easier to handle by well-equipped groups. Nice. Now, under gameplay, now we actually thought that this was a change as well that wasn't previously documented in a patch note, and it's now here. Electronic Countermeasures operation modifier, which had a chance of giving you a random stratagem instead of the one you input, has been removed in order to be reworked and will be reintroduced in a future iteration. We found that this modifier wasn't communicated clearly enough and overall caused more frustration than excitement with the way it was currently implemented. It was easily the worst stratagem, operation modifier for sure. This change was made in the last patch, 1.000.1, but was unintentionally omitted from the patch notes. Okay. Fixes. Fixed missing text on several HUD UI elements. Fixed several subtitle VO mismatches in the news videos. Fixed various crashes that occurred mid-gameplay and when deploying to missions. Known issues. Game crashes when attempting to use a stim while inside an exosuit. That's interesting. It's one of the few things you can do inside an exosuit is actually use a stim. My game didn't crash, but I guess don't do that. Pink artifacts may appear in the sky when setting off large explosions. Automaton dropships seemingly disappears and slides in after being shot down. Yep, I've seen that. Shots from arc-based weapons may not count towards kills and post-mission stats. Oh, that must be why I'm at the bottom of the leaderboard, right? Players cannot unfriend other players befriended via friend code. Cross-platform friend invites may not show up in the friend requests tab. Players may be unable to select a loadout or return to ship when joining a multiplayer game session via PS5. Activity card. Right. The exosuit can destroy itself with rockets if fires while turning. I had no idea what the frick was going on when this was happening until I saw it happen a couple more times and I watched a video and I was like, oh, I'm turning too fast and I'm shooting myself with a rocket. Right. Yeah, that's super frustrating. The text chat display is obstructed by the cinematic letterboxing during extraction. Yeah, notice that too. Right, release Captain Karlberg out. And there you have it. Definitely a good patch. Listening to the community regarding the spawn rate of AI, specifically Terminids, charges and bile tons. Be very interesting to see what it feels like now. Let me know if you've already gotten the game and had a bit of a play around. If you'd like to support the channel and cannot think of a comment, you can leave the words "Eat King of Damage." As usual, it's been a pleasure. This is Myelin Games. Peace.